Hi, my name is DJ Battle. I'm a junior and I've been going to LCS since I was in daycare.
So, when would you say your Christian walk really began?
Okay, so I would say that I was, saved at a young age and I had the privilege of being baptized by my dad because he's a deacon and he asked the pastor if he could baptize me. And, after I was being baptized, I really didn't utilize my salvation or my faith or knowledge in God until I was older. And so, I had gone through so much as a child, like losing my granddad first and then my dad and then my nanny. And as a child, I really didn't know how to grieve or process those losses. So they ended up manifesting themselves into me as depression and anxiety. And I just had really bad anxiety and I had really bad, not depression, but, I was just really not happy. And so after I realized that, I had to call on God because my parents, both of them taught me to, God is the only one who can help you in your times because I had called on my friends, I had called on my family members also to help me process this grief and everything that was going on inside of me, but nobody had gone through what I had gone through. And so I just realized the only one who does truly know what I'm going through is God because he made me, he knows how I think, he knows everything that I do basically. And so I called on him one day. I just remember I poured my heart out to God and I just said, God, please, just help me just take this void out of my body because I'm just tired of living like this. And he didn't take it away immediately, but eventually he let it subside, and so it went away. And I remember I just went back to my normal life. I didn't further my relationship with God, and I didn't get worse or anything, but I just didn't seek a relationship with God. And then eventually, life hit, and I started to get overwhelmed. I started to get anxious again. And I started to, just to get depressed again. And I realized that if I wanted to have somebody to help me deal with these things, I would have to actually gain and develop a relationship with God and not just call on him when I needed him because God's not a tool. He wants us to love him, to appreciate him, and to acknowledge him and develop a relationship with him. And so once I realized those things, then I realized that I would actually have to put effort in and not just call on God when I needed him. And so after that, I just remember that I started reading my Bible. I started praying. I started, just going through those things to help me gain more knowledge about God and to recognize that he's the head of my life. And, he's the only one who truly does understand everything I'm going through. And he's the only one that can help me when I feel, depressed or anxious.
So, how has being a Christian affected your day to day life and your overall mentality?
I would say that that's a question that can't be fully answered because I believe that God wants us to continue to change and grow in our relationship with him. And I believe that just when we first accept God in our life, when we become happy, that we shouldn't stay in that state. We should continue to grow towards him and closer to him. And also I would say that I'm able to see the things that God has done for me, the blessings he's placed in my life. Because I remember one sermon that my minister preached. It was way before, I really just knew too much about God and before I could see the blessings that he placed in my life. She said that you're not gonna be able to see the bigger blessing that God has done in your life until you start thanking him for the smaller ones. So every breath that you take is a blessing. The car that you have is a blessing, and the house that you live in is a blessing. Whether you like any of those things or not, God has still blessed you and he still made a way and provided for you. And so I would just say, that's how my life has changed, and I hope that it does continue to change and my relationship with God goes stronger. The final thing that I want you guys to take away from this is that God puts you through certain trials and situations in your life to further your relationship with him, and so that you can, strive to have a relationship with him, and they're supposed to push you closer to him, not away from him, so that you can grow dependent on God and not anybody else.